So today I have another episode of Battlefield Inbox for all you guys. Now I do apologize for the lack of videos this past week. I had to do my ACT plan testing on Wednesday, so I just decided to take this week off from uploading. But nonetheless, Battlefield Inbox must go on. Now if you do not know already, this is a series here on my channel where I answer your Battlefield related questions that you may have for me. So firstly, there are a number of ways you can ask me a question, such as Twitter, which is always linked down in the description of all my videos. Now you could also submit a question through the comments of this video, and then I'll pick some and then use them in next week's episode. And finally, you can always use the good old YouTube inbox and send me your question in a personal message. Now the questions I will use from now on have to be related to Battlefield in some way. After all, this is Battlefield Inbox. Okay, so I'll stop rambling and get on with the questions already. Now the first question this week comes from Mr. B on Twitter, and he said, since a lot of people on Battlefield 3 still play the Close Quarters DLC, do you think Dragon's Teeth will be all close quarters? Now Dragon's Teeth is an urban themed DLC, so there is a high possibility of a brand new Close Quarters DLC being introduced. Now as of right now, there is not a lot of information about the upcoming DLC, but I think DICE will try to make this a close quarter type of expansion. Now I do agree with you that a lot of people still play the DLC from Battlefield 3, which is coming up on its 3-year anniversary for its release. Now in my opinion, the Close Quarters DLC was a lot of fun. It had some of the best Battlefield 3 maps to just rack up tons and tons of kills in rapid succession. So overall, it was a grinding type of DLC which I would love to see in Battlefield 4, because as of right now the game is getting a bit stale, so reliving some of those nostalgic feelings I have for Battlefield 3 would give new life to the game. Now if Dragon's Teeth was close quarters, then it would have the best domination, team deathmatch, and even squad deathmatch maps in Battlefield 4. Those game modes are tons of fun, but the maps in the game right now are just terrible for small team games, so having 4 maps dedicated to just close quarters games would be very fun. The next question comes from Joseph L, and he wants to know, do you think that the next Battlefield title will have the same issues BF4 had for the first couple months? Well, it all depends on who is actually developing the game. Rumors are floating about that Visceral Games is making the next Battlefield game, so they might be a bit sloppy in designing it. Now I personally would have liked to see DICE make the next game, but they do have a lot on their plate right now, with Mirror's Edge and Star Wars Battlefront. So I highly doubt they will have any time to even supervise the development of the next Battlefield title. However, I think EA will not make the same mistake twice when it comes to releasing an unfinished product. They did take a large hit with the downfall of Battlefield 4, so I doubt they want to do the same thing with the next Battlefield title. I guess we will just have to wait and see if Visceral Games is capable of making a long-lasting Battlefield game that is not only fun but balanced as well. Now the third question this week comes from Luke Smith, and he would like to know, what weapons do you want to see in the upcoming DLCs for Battlefield 4? Well, I would like to see some more heavy-duty sniper rifles put into the game. I mean, we don't really have any heavy-hitting ones besides the battle pickups, and you can't even put those on your class, so they technically do not count. Now I would like to see some different ammo types for the sniper rifles, such as armor piercing, full metal jacket, etc. Now it would also allow for more customization and also permit recons to actually help out their team by destroying LAVs, tanks, and other armor on the battlefield. I would also like to see some of the future assault rifles currently in development make their way into the game. One weapon I would like to see put in Dragon's Teeth or Final Stand would be the XM8 assault rifle that just appeared on the top of your screen there. Now it has a really sleek look that would fit into Battlefield 4 so well, but besides that I don't really know any other weapons. Now the next question comes from San Fretwell, and he said, do you think Battlefield will still be a successful gaming franchise in 10 years? Now whether or not this series will still be around by then will depend on DICE or whoever is developing the game by then, and their ability to innovate. Now in my personal opinion, first-person shooters are dying as a whole because of the inability to bring new content to the table. So if there is not a change in FPS games as a whole, then I doubt Battlefield will last for the next 10 years. Now the next question comes from Jack Skullcrack, and he said, do you think there will be dinos in the Final Stand DLC? Okay, so I think it would be a cool game mode to incorporate, but it just doesn't make any sense for it to be in the game. I would like for it to be in Final Stand, but I don't really think DICE will put it in, solely due to it not making any sense for it to be there. Also, DICE is up shit's creek at the moment with Battlefield 4 and the stability of the game, so to answer your question, unfortunately I don't think it will be put into the game. Now the next question comes from Ace of Mistakes, and he wants to know, would you like to see Tank Superiority make a reappearance in Battlefield 4 like it did in BF3? Also, would you like to see a Vietnam reappearance as well? So I personally did not like Tank Superiority because I sucked at it. Now although I haven't tried it since I first played Battlefield 3, I might be a bit more decent at it now. So I would like to see it brought back, but it would have to be balanced completely before I would ever play it again. Now overall, I would like to see it brought back into Battlefield 4 simply for the nostalgic feel it would bring to the Battlefield veterans. Now to answer the next part of your question, would I like to see a Vietnam reappearance? Well, I haven't played enough Bad Company 2 to even make that decision. Again, this would bring back some of those hardcore veterans into the series, just like Tank Superiority would. Now I am a fan of Vietnam movies, so I would ultimately like to see this brought back into Battlefield 4. And on to our final question for this week. It comes from Logan Scott, and he wants to know, do you think Battlefield 4 will ever be fixed? Now I do have hope for this game, but DICE keeps breaking more and more things with each patch that comes out. Now I would like to see it fixed, but I don't think it will be near perfect until the summer months. Now as of right now, the game is running really stable on PC, and I know the console guys got a really nice patch that fixed the rubber banding bug. So I do have hope for Battlefield 4, DICE just needs to hurry up and fix the game. Now I think if they increase the tick rate on servers, the game would improve a lot more. Basically, the tick rate measures how fast a server updates itself, so the higher the number the better. So overall, I do have a lot of hope for this game, but it just needs to be revitalized. As of right now, it's kind of boring to play it. Alright everybody, that just about wraps up this week's episode of Battlefield Inbox. Now if you do want your question featured in next week's episode, then leave all your questions down below in the comments. Now if you guys do enjoy this series, then make sure to do me a solid by hitting the like button. Now if you are new around here and want to get all my latest videos featured in your subscription box, then make sure to click the big red subscribe button right below the video. As always, thank you guys for watching, but until next time, this is Zainab, and I hope to see you all in the next one.